Welcome to the Man of Recaps. This is the complete Walking Dead recap of Maggie and Negan before their new show, Dead City. We first meet Maggie in Season 2 when the group comes to her father Herschel's farm. She's a cool, confident farm girl who's a get-stuff-done type. She pairs up with our group's nice guy, Glenn, and when they go out scavenging, they find some condoms. She's like, hey boy, you're cute, let's get it on. They got a fun thing going, the country girl and the city boy, and pretty soon they've fallen in love. When the farm's overrun, the group comes to the prison where Glenn finds a diamond ring, and these two get Apocalypse married. But now they face off against the governor, who takes some hostages, including her father Herschel, and oh no, he kills him. When the prison's overrun, she and Glenn get separated and go on an epic journey to find each other. Finally they do. But Maggie's younger sister, Beth, gets caught up in the hospital arc, at the end of which she dies. Oh no, Maggie, now she's lost all her family. The group goes through their darkest days yet, but they come out the other side at Alexandria. Now that they're safe, Maggie and Glenn plan for the future, and they're gonna have a baby. Soon they meet a new community, Hilltop, where Maggie steps up in a leadership role, taking point negotiating with their slimy leader, Gregory. But then our group's captured by a ruthless gang led by the man himself. It's Negan. He's gonna let them live so they can pay him tribute, but to show he's serious, he's got to kill one of them. Well, first he picks Abraham, but then to show he's really serious, he's gotta kill one more. And oh no, this one is Glenn. No, not Glenn. Yes, he brutally kills Maggie's husband in front of her. So brutal, in fact, I know this is where a lot of you stopped watching the show. Now, Negan is an interesting character. He's adopted this persona where he can't just say a line, he has to say a line. And he's got a funny way of standing, always leaning back like he's on the verge of falling over. His gang is called the Saviors because he thinks of himself as a good guy who's bringing civilization back to the zombie apocalypse. But he's not a good guy. He's a megalomaniac that enjoys lording his power over people. He has his own code though. He's a real stickler for the rules. If you break any, iron to the face. He has a soft spot for kids though. When Carl tries to kill him, he cooks some spaghetti. For adults though, absolutely no mercy. So Maggie mourns Glenn and makes her new home at Hilltop because they have a baby doctor here. She wants Hilltop to rise up and fight Negan, but their current leader Gregory's a coward. In fact, Maggie starts to show that she's a better leader, and soon the people of Hilltop elect her. Later, Gregory tries to kill her, which doesn't work out well for him, and by this point she'd given him multiple second chances, so Maggie finally hangs him. So our good communities band together to fight Negan in an all-out war. It's a season-long gunfight with lots of ins and outs, but eventually Rick, gets Negan. But Rick doesn't kill him, he sentences him to life in prison to show that this new world can be merciful. Maggie does not agree with this decision, she busts in to kill Negan herself, but when she sees how much he hates confinement, she changes her mind, leaves him here to rot. But Maggie's ready to start somewhere fresh, so when she meets this woman Georgie, who's traveling around trying to help out other communities, Maggie's like, yeah, let me roll with. Now we have a time jump. Negan's better adjusted to his life in captivity, found a new purpose as the funny man who lives under the stairs. In fact, the group has gotten lazy. One day they don't lock his cell, so the Negan is freegan. He thinks about restarting the Saviors, but the world's different now. He's different now. Looking back on the Negan that he used to be, he realizes now, yeah, I was kind of cringe. We eventually get a flashback to when he was a normal-ish dude who was living with his wife Lucille that he later named his bat after, and he was a good guy who was working overtime helping her survive the zombie apocalypse and cancer. Eventually, though, of course she died, which kind of broke him, and he adopted his Negan persona and accepted that violence was the only way. But now Negan wants to be good again, and the Walking Dead's biggest villain is gonna try for a redemption arc. He saves Judith Grimes during a blizzard, so they let him out of his cell for good behavior. But then he accidentally kills someone, which violates his parole, and now they're gonna execute him. So instead he escapes again and goes to see the current villain, Alpha and the Whisperers, like, hey, they want to kill me, so let's be friends. So Negan learns how to walk with the dead and quickly rises the ranks to be Alpha's new favorite. In fact, one day they get it on, and the zombie mask does not come off. But he only got close to her, so he could kill her. Yes, an undercover mission that was Carol's idea. In exchange, Negan would be an accepted part of the group. Now, anyone who was there at the lineup will never forgive him, but they do accept that he's on their side now. But just then, Maggie comes back, none too pleased to see him walking around free. She's been on a wild journey with her and Glenn's super cute son, Little Herschel, but now she's come back to rejoin our group. Her first thought is to kill Negan immediately, so these two are off to a rocky new start. But with other threats out there, soon they accept they have to work together to survive. And as fate keeps putting these two together, they start to become a pretty good team. Negan's like, look Mags, you missed it, but I've had a redemption arc. But he does not apologize for killing Glenn. In fact, he stands by it as the right decision at the time. So yeah, Maggie still hates him. They realize this group ain't big enough for both of them, so Negan leaves to find a new one. A short time later, Maggie faces off against the Commonwealth. She helps a new group defend against them, and wouldn't you know it, there's Negan. And when her son Herschel is captured, it's Uncle Negan who busts in to save him. But whoa, don't call him Uncle Negan, that's the psycho who killed my father. Negan's like, yeah kids, sorry about that, so they put this beef on hold. Now saving her son goes a long way for Maggie to start trusting Negan more, and in fact Negan has a family now because he got Apocalypse married and his wife's already pregnant. Eventually the Commonwealth captures them and Negan finds himself on his knees about to be executed with his wife and unborn child. They end up getting saved, but now Negan understands what he put Maggie through by killing Glenn. He finally says those magic words, "I'm so sorry." Look man, thanks for finally saying sorry. I accept that you're a better person now, and I even trust you, but I can never fully forgive you. So Negan comes to realize redemption isn't some arc he completes, it's something he'll spend the rest of his life doing. So as the group is set to live happily ever after, Negan realizes his presence will always make things awkward, so he graciously leaves. But turns out Maggie is leaving too. There's still a lot of other communities out there that need her help, and she's gonna go help them. And so somehow, Maggie and Negan will have to team up once again for a new adventure in New York in their new series, Dead City. If you liked this recap, hit that subscribe button for more of the best recaps of TV and movies.